Beautiful ignited souls, another exciting time where we are going to discover secrets of the number 21. So, you may wonder, well, what qualifies me to even speak on the subject? And, that's something that has come to mind. Perhaps the viewer really wants to know something more about this. Okay, well, I was about to throw away my Bible, but of course, before doing that, it was through the writings of two of my publications, through my awakening. Because when you are awoke, things happen. I remember going to someone's house, and that was for the first time to spend a weekend. And they had a shelf in the passageway full of Chinaware. Speaking of China, I have been mentioning China for a while. So they had all this Chinaware nicely packed on the shelf. And to my everyone's amazement, that morning I was in the height of my awakening, and I know that something tremendous was happening, but the vibration was so strong when I passed that all the plates, well, about 5 plates or so, flew out of the shelf, literally flew out of the shelf, fell onto the floor and broke. As you can imagine, I was as surprised as everyone else. I hadn't understood the magnitude of the charge that I was on. And so that's what happens, and of course you can understand that. I don't think they were too happy about this, but that's what happens when things get smashed. It gives you a chance to see how you can pick the pieces up and what do you do with them? How do you dispose them? You see what is there to begin a new life. Perhaps they couldn't wait to see the back of me, and because they wondered what was going on with me. But all I could say is that I was going through my awakening, and of course, the energy and vibration was so high that yes, plates and cutleries and everything that was in my path, which is what happens when you are in your awakening. All the resentment, all the guilt, all the shame, everything that seemed to have been neatly stuck on a shelf will just fly out of the shelf and smash. And so I'm happy to be able to make better sense of that, and I can share that with you. So through all of this, of course, my gifts or love for what I do right now is just blossoming. And of course, I have a religious background, so I have been exposed to teachings of the Bible before. But as I say, I was very close to throwing it away when I realized, hey, let's just have some, see what this is about. Of course, I was asking questions as well. Through the writings as well, that I missed my sixth chapter, which disappeared from my writings too. And this is when I was getting my clairvoyance really in motion, saying, look, you need to go to Genesis of chapter 1. And I'm thinking, well, what's there? But I'll tell you, it's been quite a few years, and I'm still discovering quite a lot of gems in Genesis of chapter 1. So basically, what qualifies me to actually teach on this is my desire to learn and to grow, and of course to earn and to of course share. So I get something as delicious as numerology, or something that has been hidden, like the 14 gods we have discovered in the scriptures, for instance, and which no one else have spoken about. I want to share this with the world. So do like and subscribe, and of course share, and as we grow together, let's stay ignited. Okay, so as we go on, and if you're new to this channel, welcome. I am really appreciative of your presence here. And please, people, feel free to leave your comments, feel free to ask your questions, because I know this is a new thing. Now, it may not be new completely, because everything we are addressing is that it has been within us, and we are just activating the codes, just as I was activated in the codes and the plates were flying off the shelf. So that's what it is, and now we need that more than ever because we are bombarded with so much things that really don't serve us, and we want to just clear the path so we know how to make the decisions that are right for our lives and, of course, for the better good of all concerned. So, yes, I am going to, of course, I have been doing a lot speaking of the China. We have been speaking a lot on China. I'm going to turn this a little so this you could see. And basically, through this we are just learning. As we are learning, we are growing, but we are also discovering that nothing is happening by chance. All this has happened through, again, speaking of plate food, china, and all those things. All these are presented in Genesis of chapter 1 when the woman ate of the fruit. So we will embark on this in numbers because we are actually exploring the dates vibration. We will be concentrating more on the number 21 because what we have discovered is that all the other numbers, like the year, which is 2 to 2022, all these twos, of course, do come up to the surface. So let's have a ride and see what's happening on this ship. But people, before we do that, let's have a tea break. I hope you have your cup because this is where we have the deliciousness of tea, or whether it's coffee, or we say, well, it's time for coffee break as well. Okay, people. So I'm having both coffee, water, tea. Yeah, but lately it's been more coffee. Okay, so people, let there be light, and there was light. So we are calling on the 14 gods, which I've just mentioned, the gods that we are the embodiment of, so we can have this teaching as clear and succinct, and that which is really in alignment with where we are and where we are going, and be better expressions of who we truly are. Just let's have some fun with this. So we are going to look at the date, which is 21st. And I say 21st, I'm doing this on the night of the 20th, but we are still picking up the vibration. I'm actually catapulting my mind in, the 21st, and to get the energy and the feel of all of that. So here we are, 2022. So this would be 6, this would be 1, and this would be 3. So we have, adding this together, of course, is 10. 10 has been that it is a perfect number, because even when we do the word perfect, for instance, FECT, it comes to 37. And may I say, if you are new to numerology and think, oh, how is she working this out? Most of these I have memorized as well because I've done them over and over. But because, of course, I have developed a love and understanding of the vibration. For instance, number 3 being so creative, but it actually means that W, it actually exemplifies the breasts, that, or the lips, or the buttocks, or the nose. It's anything that is 2. It's actually a pair. It's actually W. So I do understand how the vibrations work, which is what I want to share with you. So remember, people, to like this video and actually, no, I would say, knock that notification button, so when the videos are published or uploaded, of course you will be one of the first to view them. There is something about being first. Okay, so this is 10. This actually adding together would be 10. But what we have been taught as well is that there is a deeper way of understanding, like the motion of the vibrations. So by doing that, for instance, we would be looking at 3 in this way because of the gift of numbers. This is just an example. So if we were doing perfect, to give us the full flavor of what perfect actually means, it would we would be examining 3, because the letters, they're like close to the numbers, if you like, or the figure, is when it gets concentrated. But it's like whipping an egg and it just, gets, light and fluffy. And that's what the letters actually do. So they're like containers, if you like. Okay, so 3 would be 11. Now that shows us as well that 3 has the attribute, or where you could actually make the distinction of the two U's. It's like two U's stuck together, isn't it? That is 3, or W, or E, or M. And that's what it is about. Let's look at 21. Okay, so we're going to look at 21 as 2 1 is 3, and of course we have seen that we had 10. So let's look at 10 in this way, meaning 10 is 1, which equals 1 ONE and equals 16, but 1 plus 6 is 7. And then we have naught, the naught, of course, naught here, which is NOT, which equals 13. Now, in case you're new, I was going to say new to this channel, I do put on the like an introduction that shows you, gives you quite a bit of an explanation on how we derive of the template and how we work on this. So it would be numerology and spirituality for beginners. But we also have all the videos that gives real good examples of how we work with the sacrifice template itself. Okay, so I'm hoping you're having fun with this. And so this would be 4. And so when we look at this, as we see, if we added 7 plus 4 together, we would see that this gives us 11. And this is what it means when we, of course, had done 10 like in word form, TEN, which would be 3, but the numerical value for the word 3 is actually 11. So you can see that there is, it's like having having a pear, if you like, or an apple, and you slice it in how many pieces you choose to, how you choose to serve. You choose to serve it, or what you choose to do with it. So this is really energy in motion here with the numbers. So what I really wanted to highlight with 2 is actually here, for instance, because we just want to explore the makeup of 21 without it being just 3, where we could see it as 11. But also we want to look at 21. How has 21 impacted on our lives, like people? And so I had looked at, for instance, in the scriptures, let's number 3, or as the Trinity, we would say. This is like resting upon the very thing that got us in trouble in the first place, you could say. It was about the woman and the serpent in the Garden of Eden. And when the serpent said unto the woman, have God said, ye shall not eat of the fruit. So there is something about, we know about the eat, but it was the woman. The word woman actually is WOMAN. Actually, as you can see the W here, it's not just the, of course, the M is here too, but it's the woman. So the woman has these 2 M's here as well. This is like partnership all in one. So this is 5, 6, 4, 1, 5. Adding this together is 21. 5, 10, 15, 21. So 21 is what we are talking about. We want to also see how 21 has been responsible or central to a lot of things. Like, of course, it was the woman who ate of the fruit, meaning 3, which of course comes into this symbol or this symbol or this symbol, which is like McDonald's, or this symbol. So it's like this is the symbol that has permeated, or you could say is responsible for us having this W, and also splitting to try and make sense of who we truly are. So this is 3, but it's like you and I as W, or as partners. And of course, as in this way, it has the numerical value of 5. 5 is the number of change, 5 is Christ, 5 is home, 5 is house, and so on. So it's really how we have positioned ourselves or clothed ourselves. Another thing that I really want to show how 21 has been very responsible for for us being in hot water again, or to be saved from hot water, if you like. Remember, people, it was the woman, and so Owan. But it was something when Jesus Christ in the New Testament makes a statement of saying, "Oh, lo, I am no man but a worm." Or I another place, I am no man, which would indicate if you're no man, we just say, well, then you're a woman then. So it's the number 3 again is being highlighted there. Now, okay, but when Jesus, of course, broke, 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 or he break, I don't remember if it's in present or past tense it is said, but he broke bread, bread. Bread is also 21. And we also have bread, and of course it was bread, which is 21. And of course he had wine, which is 6. But of course the wine is to represent the 21 as in blood. Blood. So that tells us that life in itself is presented by the number 3 here, in the sense as having your W, like two people coming together and forming this W. It's like partnership, it's like a link. So this is why I say that the number 3, which of course this is when you begin to see the power of 3 as 11 shows up, just like in Jesus. Jesus equals 11. So we can see that Jesus had a lot about the number 3, is that he broke bread. Bread is something that every nation eats, or every nation or every person indulges in for nutrients or whatever it is. But we know about bread, and bread actually equals 21, and 2 plus 1 is 3. But it's important to remember that 3 may also require you to break free, as the famous song from Queen, I Want to Break Free. So you can have a introspection or different perspective of who you are, to understand yourself, know thyself. So you may have to break from that W. Break free, break E, break M, break whatever it is. You may need to just break that link. It's another way of saying, let there be light. It's like number 3 is supposed to show us something, because it's actually a number that can bond and it can release. It's like a handcuff. It is like an 8 that can it's like a link hair, but it can release, and it's like it can break free. So actually it is free, but it's like a link that breaks free, and that's what 21 is about. And of course, that also reminds me of the story of Sarah, who also had the numerical value of 21, SARAH, which is 81911. This is 99181920. So actually, it's when she was SARAI, she was 21 hair. And of course, as we are saying, that was changed hair. And of course, Sarah had her stepson and her son, which was Ishmael and Isaac. So there was Sarah. The story of Sarah was that she had given her maid to her husband. So giving a maid to a husband, it's like a hidden seed was somewhere, which is why she was then changed to 20, which is 2, which actually represents the womb, because the word 20 actually comes to 8, and 8 is the number for the womb. So basically, when you are free hair, to have a womb or to have a hidden thing, you have to break away, or 2 or 3 has a way of having to conceal something. And that's why, of course, when you do the numerical value for the word 3, it comes to 11. So 3 can always have, it's creative, it can mutate aside or subdue. Okay, so that's what we actually mean with 3, because that's why it's creative. It's the Empress. It is the Father, Son, Holy Spirit, and so on. It's body, mind, and soul. So all of this is here. So we see that number 3, as in 21, today's date, the date itself is the 21st. And of course, we have done the whole calculation. So if we did 2, 3, we have seen that that gives us 2 equals 4, and 1 equals 7, and we see that this gives us 21, actually gives us 11, or 2, adding these 2 together. Now, so it shows us the capability of 21. This is why it is said you can break or make a habit in 21 days. So this is so important. Likewise, I believe that the number 12 has similar energy or vibration, but of course 2 is that it has a container. 2 consists of the number 13, which actually requires you to have that sacrifice. It's like a death aspect to it. So here we see, just to conclude, of course, we know the year, of course, 2022 is, of course, 20 is like 8. It is the year, it's like the earth that sucks back, or it wants back of what it's been given, and so there is a disaster or some death or something, it's taken back. And 2022 is like that. It's going to birth and it gives, it birth and it gives. And that is what, this is how it is going to be for a lot of us in this 2022. And this is a formation of new creation happening right before our very eyes. There's a song like that. Right before your very eyes. Now I know my son said, "Mom, please don't." Okay, but so 6. Of course, we have seen the number 6 as in the year, which is the year of impregnation, I call it as well. But it also is a year, of course, you have the 1 and you have 6, so that can go on forever. But it's also a lot of different, if you like, compartments, or because it comes to 7, So there are many creations in one creation. But of course, it's two main creation, especially with this year six, this six number. It's a year six. In fact, my year is a 6 year as well. But this 6 year shows you or gives you the ability to create, to let there be light, to demand light. And of course, remember, where there was light or where there isn't light is dark, or darkness or light comes out of the dark. So it demands a lot of action and creativity. It demands it of you. So 3 is not a number that is just, oh, well, we say lucky 3, yes, but it actually still demands something from you. It still demands dedication, action, and it's that you to create, basically. And of course, we have these 8 letters or 8 words here, which consist of 24, like 12, 12, 24. This is denoting the hours of the day. The 12, of course, 12 zodiac signs, 12 hours of the day, 12 months of the year, and so on. And so there are the two creations happening simultaneously here. And I believe that the number 21 was actually offering us that. So it comes like 3. And of course, 3 is, as we said, it's actually 11, which shows like let there, like the word there, THERE. Basically, the number 21 gives us everything it has in the word form of 3 as 11, because it's saying that what is there is the, and he is in the, and her is in the, and here, which is present, the time or point of reference is there. And also, this is what we meant when we did all this. We saw all that happening here and there. So that is the creation, people, with number 21 as 3. Free is freedom. It allows you to do that. Freedom is also something that demands your attention. It doesn't just happen to say, oh, I'm free or whatever. Free is freedom. Free is blood. Free is, and blood is life. Free is bread, and so on. And 3 is just thinking of what else we have. 3 is there, as I've said, and of course, and most importantly, with the seed that we had as 10, this gives us 12, because the whole thing came to 10, and of course is 12. 1 plus 2 is 3. So we can see that. Another thing that I mean to do is to take on the day's vibration. Today is Thursday, THURSDAY. And I also say that first day, don't only, it's not just first day as we would say, oh, it's the 4th day of, or 5th day of the week or whatever it is. It sounds like the first day, because what I have come to understand through numerology, all these numbers we have, there are some that you could say real and some that are not, and I will cover that in other videos. But for now, we are using both what is real and what isn't to make sense of our reality, in a sense, like looking in the mirror. So we have 2, 8, 3, 1. This is 3, 9, 1, 4, 1, 7. So this is 8, 12, 22, 25, 30, 35. So this is 8. And this is what I meant about what, that's how I started the presentation as well, with making reference to what the woman ate. So we see that everything, though all the dates came to the number 10, and 10 is actually 3, but holding all that vibration here, we see that 8, the woman ate, then gave to her husband, and he also did it. But when we add all this together, as in 10, which is 3, 3, 1, 6, okay, which was 10, and adding this with 8, we have People, this is just amazing. 1 8. 1 8, of course, is 9. And so we see that this is more or less presenting as in saying we could have a new beginning for breaking down the habit, creating a new habit, as in the word, as in the numerical value of 21 as free. Get a sense of freedom. I hope you can get all that, capture that vibration, that you can actually mold and shape your own world by saying, okay, it's the 21st. Now, of course, there are other things all in here, but let's look at the number 23. It is like a lock. It can lock, it can release. It's not just five, but it's like a handcuff. It can release you, it can permit you that freedom. Write something down. It is creative. Make, even if it's the first day, of course, have a new template, because it is like a pattern. It's like that pattern that you can shape however you want. Find your master pattern, which is you. Of course, you are the master pattern, in case you didn't know. So, in fact, I think the number pattern actually equals, let's see, I think it equals 8. And I just want to remember PATTERN, which I use a lot. So is 9522117. Okay, so it's, this is 10, this is 20, this is 31. Okay, 31. Pattern is 31, which is 4. Of course, that makes sense because it's like the main structure of something. But the numerical value for the word 8 is 31 anyway. So, okay, so I hope you have had fun, people. Please like and subscribe and stay ignited. Oh, press that notification bell so you know when I'm loading up, uploading those videos, those delicious tea breaks.